is the grand finals here at Fragadelphia in the Las Vegas Convention Center. The wait's over. We're getting back into it. Time to bring all of your voices out. NIP versus Sharks. Nubis being the first map.
Well, what?
Go for it. I was putting Twitch chat away. We gotta lock in.
Yes, I know that. Okay, I was lost for a second. 4-on-4 here early on contact play here, but it is going to be NIP on the T side here. Koala dropping down to trying to re-aggress here, but it's going to be switching himself around. And it's going to be Wrinkle trying to move about here towards the fight towards mid. RDN falling quickly, and it is going to be Nip slowly gaining control back into a 4-on-1.
Koala's got some dual Berettas in his hands, but he doesn't have much and get done with it. Although a nice headshot onto Wrinkle does open it up. Surely, though, I mean, 2 HP, you got armor, you don't got a kit. You fall back and save. There's no reason not to try to save it, but it's still not really what you want from the pistol round.
Nah, I mean, Koala can at least save this armor. He's already got 2 kills, so he's got a little extra cash from the kills with these pistols, but NIP just kind of running over towards mid, gaining a lot of control on this lurk. Oh, there we go, finding one more, make it 3 for Koala. So going to stack up a little extra money here and there. Every little bit counts. And with that, NIP opening up with the pistol round win.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. NIP keeping it strong. And if you forgot or you didn't get to tune in earlier on, NIP knocked out NRG in a very, very hectic best-of-3. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, Sharks bested Blue Jays in another best-of-3 that was a little bit not as stressful, we'll say.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, a very good 3-map affair. Now the CT's force buying into this second round. They're not going to want NIP to start to run away with this game early on. This is going to be a fast push into A. Arizos finds one. Nick's there for the trade, though. Flash is perfect, so Nick's falls. And now with the defense off the bomb site, NIP can plant that bomb.
Yep. And there's going to be the rifle of Doc, somebody that we kind of spoke of before that had an amazing performance versus Blue Jays. I think he was like got 50 kills over the course of the BO3. 3-on-4 though, disadvantage for Sharks, and they don't seem very willing to retake. Koala just playing for some exits here with the Deagle armor, and it should be a 2-0 start for NIP with pretty minimal losses into this one. Oh, is that?
That's Jack Sparrow.
He looks sober though.
You know what's crazy? We really got to get locked in. There was the tech pause really
yeah,
made our brains wander just a little bit. Get the energy up. Hey, is there any crowd still here? Is anybody still here to watch some high-level Counter-Strike? Let me hear it. There we go.
yeah,
I'd say that's a pretty sizable crowd.
yeah, they're still there. I can't imagine who would have screamed "I love you, Buckethead."
I don't know. I don't
imagine.
know because my friends left.
Oh,
They had a whole like section of people just chanting Donnie, and it was like, guys, I'm just a caster. You don't know.
did you feel empowered?
No, I felt like scared.
Who are you people?
Anyway, NIP, they are up 2-0. Sharks forced back into it, but they are only playing with 3 pistols, an MP9, and 1 M4. Koala dancing around the E-box might meet the SMG that Snappy has in hand. Molotov is going to force him back, so that space is given up. Now Koala smoking off main, trying to prevent a inevitable push onto the site. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, RDN starts to aggress. The CTs should have a good read as to what's going on here, yet the rotates still are not in. It's going to be a full flank. Down in water. Shots taken back and forth. 2 CTs are low. And this means that the T's have to start to flood the site. Shush gets that spam through the smoke. Surely more are yet to fall. Snappy's nade will be good. A flash into E-box.
What?
Futurex helping his IGL out so he doesn't die. And as Nyx falls, NIP convert the expected rounds post-pistol with their 3rd.
Yeah, but now it is going to be the true test here for NIP if they can continue this dominating performance here. Sharks pulling out the rifles, the op on Nyx. And this could be a turning point for Sharks. Either one of two ways, and it's good or bad. It's up or it's down. It's hot, it's cold, it's yes, it's no.
In and out, up and down. D's dancing, D's dancing.
Because it's a quote from a song.
Yeah, I know. I continued it. I know. Anyway, whatever. That's fine. The ops are out for the CT side. Snappy finds the first kill with the MP9. I swear this man has an SMG every single round. The T's already completely swarmed over the B-bomb site. CT's out. Not anywhere close nearby. Nearest is RDN in CT, but he's most likely going to try to save that M4 towards Beach. And this op 100% cannot be afforded to be lost. So,
yeah, but that's the thing. Nip can throw everything at them. They have plenty of money. It's going to hurt Sharks if they can even take away a rifle more than it's going to hurt Nip if they lose, 2 or 3 of these guns. So at the end of the day, it's more gain than loss if they can find any of these CTs.
I think Sharks do have quite the tall task ahead of them. They're coming against the realistically either the favorite or the second favorite in the tournament, probably depending on who you ask and how much game bias they have. Shush taking his teammate, but does take the op out of Nick's hand, and that is honestly worst case scenario. Only one rifle will survive into this next round, as they do invest quite a decent bit. SMGs coming out, a little bit of utility. They want to try to break the streak early on, but I don't know. Part of me is kind of scared that NIP hasn't lost a single step since the semifinals.
Yeah. I mean, you can just take a look at the kills for Sharks. 0-3, 0-3, 0-3, 2-4, 4-3. So Koala having the impact here, and maybe RDN wants to add 1 to his tally. But no, it is going to be Wrinkle just avoiding certain death. Good nade there in towards Koala, and NIP looking like they're in firm map control right now.
Yes, indeed they do. Although, health favoring the CTs, so you know what? Technically the CTs have the advantage right now.
I'll take
Except
map
for
control over
everything
health.
else. Yeah. Well, those A main aggressive players are starting to fall back. The peak from E-Box will be in vain as Aerodose opens up. And now the players from main start to combine. Koala, only one there for the time being, not able to get anything done. That is, U-Jerks through the flash to get that kill. 5-7 spraying, going crazy, nothing found. One MP9 kill is not going to be enough to stop the bomb plant. But all the players on NIP are so low. Unfortunately, Doc doesn't have that information.
I mean,
less than 100 health combined.
Yeah, Doc could kill everybody with a single magazine from this MP9. Literally 1 to 2 bullets to kill everybody. But, it's information we have that he doesn't. Positive and easier side to being a caster than as a player.
Well, that is at least 1 kill. Aerodose does fall. But it's not really going to matter too much. I mean, even if he gets another kill here, the money for NIP, U-Jerks is already on 1,300. It's the 5th round.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I don't really think it matters too much.
It's going to take Sharks 3 rounds of
kills.
Straight stomping NIP for them to even break that.
Aerodose doesn't have the... Oh, I read that number wrong. He's got money. Yeah, no, they're set for right now. I mean, Anubis T-side, you always talk about how this is the preferred site. And in order to try to have a competitive CT side, you really want to focus on getting aggressive towards those extremities. There we go. There's the stream back.
I was concerned.
But yeah, I mean, NIP just has kind of been shutting off any sort of aggression that Sharks could put forward right now.
Yeah.
Especially with these Molotovs. A nice spray from RDN does open it up. That's the type of aggression we need.
Yeah.
2 kills going in favor of Sharks now. As NIP maybe a little bit dazed and confused.
Deep smoke there blocking all the access to site. And it is a 2-man advantage for Sharks, and this is the first real advantage they've had in the entirety of this map thus far. Again, this is best of 5. And I don't remember who picked this.
This was the pick of Sharks. Snappy! maybe rolling back the clock a little bit, getting a nice double spray down, but this is going to be a very difficult clutch for him. Both CTs approaching from that temple position. He falls back into main, plays behind that smoke that is now faded away from him. No cover except for the wall in front of him. As he jiggle peeks, the diffuser does go down. RDN versus Snappy. It's going to come down to this. He's sticking the defuse. The Ninja can't come through. Snappy not able to spray, not able to find, has to fall back as he's not sure what hit him. And NIP finally lose their first round to Sharks.
Quite a close one, though. Snappy had the read on it, made it very, very close. I think it was a 1-on-4, I think is what it boiled down to. So it is going to be a little bit of a pause here, I think.
No, timer's going down.
Oh, okay.
You silly goose.
I was confused for a split second there. Long days, Donald.
It is long days, but hey, this is the final game. Who knows how many maps we'll get to go through tonight, but passion's got to be here for both of these teams. Nix has the op trained through water. No one quite getting aggressive enough to get in his sight lines. Meanwhile, RDN getting aggressive, looking for the player rugs. He did just hear the utility be thrown. Snappy, the IGL will fall early on. This CT aggression, as I said, is the key to try to get into these rounds.
Yeah, I think Nip definitely got caught off on that one, especially Snappy. You could see emotional on that one, as he definitely thought he was safe to throw the utility. So Sharks adjusting well here, you know, finding the early answers to what plagues them. And this is I'd say the start of something good here for Sharks, you know, with man advantage, but they're looking a lot more composed now. Nip aren't just kind of running through them.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a little bit of nerves setting in maybe for Sharks in the beginning, and NIP just playing confidently. They're going to come in this entire series and just be as confident as possible, be as aggressive as possible, because they feel like they are going to win this. But none of Sharks has anything to say about it, as they have completely shut down this T side right now. Wrinkle's the only one left. He does get the op kill on the opera of the opposing team. However, 20 seconds left and only one kill in the round. Can't really get much else going. He's getting swarmed. I doubt the CTs want him to keep this, but they can't really afford to lose any guns themselves. Those just make sure that they don't aggress. Doc caught completely off guard, but again, 4 seconds left. Sharks secure this round.
And they can't really overcommit, especially against someone like Wrinkle. But they just can't lose these guns. Koala has an op, so they're just going to have to play this one safe. They do find a second. That's 2 in a row for Sharks. And, you know, looking a lot better off here for them.
You know, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Would you please allow me to do some crowd work really quick?
Oh, go ahead.
People watching at the lovely Las Vegas Convention Center, I want you to cheer if you think NIP is going to win this series. Okay.
Yeah, good response. It's good. And how are we feeling about Sharks, though, crowd? Any chance on that one?
That one guy really wants Sharks to win.
Yeah, that guy, I heard the chant. You know what, dude?
Well, Doc's going to make him proud as he just doubles up in mid. That push completely stopped right off the bat. Honestly, this is a pretty good defense we've seen since the guns have come out. Sharks looks very composed, very confident in the plays that they're trying to do. And NIP has repeatedly just kind of faltered and been stuck outside of B main with a 2 or 1 player disadvantage.
Yeah, we're kind of...
That was silly.
Yeah, hopefully that's not a computer issue.
No.
I mean, he kind of just stopped mid, just I think realizing he was dead to rights on that one. But we are going to see him try and force through good trades, though. But it's just going to matter not as Sharks 3 in a row, and they're starting to feel them. They're starting to feel a lot better now. You can see by the very obvious excitement in winning that one, and it's taken a while to get here, but Nip are finally to the point where if they lose this one, they're broke.
Yeah, that was a very big play from Goffalo at the end there to get rid of those last 2 players. There was a chance if he goes down that they could have got the bomb plant, and then in a post-plant situation, we're talking a completely different type of situation. But NIP with the timeout, again, I do credit for NIP tactically playing this game very respectful. They don't want to let any emotions get to them. They are maybe being more aggressive than they would be in certain situations because, as I said, they do think that they're going to win, and they need to think that way. but they are still treating each team with respect. They're taking the timeouts. They're not going for unwinnable rounds.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what you have to realize is Nip are the favorite, but that doesn't give you the go-to of just winning outright. You still got to earn it. You still got to cross all those mountains, molehills, whether they are mountains or molehills. Still the hurdles you have to get to eventually get the win at the end of the day.
Yeah, he does a little bit of damage and pops that smoke just a little bit, but Nick's still not able to see past it. Player dropping into water. Snappy once again caught off guard. He doesn't look too happy about that one. As Sharks with a player advantage once again, almost hitting the shot through the smoke, but not quite close enough. And now he just wants to aggress through mid. Seems like a flash will be set up for the CT. Time coming through. The flash is perfect. Goffalo finds another one. Traded back by Shush. Now it's time. In the right position at the right time. That's one headshot bounce shot through the door. No one quite able to find it. It is Wrinkle to come up on top. But Sharks with the player advantage late on in the round. RDN not quite fast enough to prevent his teammate from dying, but that matters not, as Sharks have almost tied this map up.
1 round away from doing just that. I mean, NIP looked untouchable in the first 5, and Sharks quickly, again, they're having this huge turnaround, a huge shift of momentum, and I feel like, you know, on a map like Anubis, 4 rounds of CT is pretty okay right now. They're sitting pretty solid. Obviously, anything past that, exponentially better. But NIP want to kind of put a stop to it here and now before, you know, this could still be, Sharks can still win out this first half.
They definitely still can. Ooh, nice op shot. Even the flash can't stop Nyx right now. He's having great impact. Make it 2. Can he swing around and find a third? The bomb is dropped in the vicinity on scope at the worst possible time, but I don't think that's going to matter much. As Sharks do seem like they're still going to pick up the round.
Maybe
Wrinkle
throwing a little more at it than they should.
Yeah, oh my god, especially with the spray through the smoke. 1 HP on Koala. Doc still full HP. Granted, I've seen Wrinkle do some crazy things so far today by itself.
He's going to try and walk his way around towards E-Box. Koala, though, positioned for that exact thing. A minute on the clock, and ooh, he's 9. He's going to go Temple. And the longer he stays missing, the more Sharks get concerned, and you're going to see some shift, some splitting, some dividing in these CTs, which gives him enough space to take the 1v1v1.
Wrinkle creeping around through CT. He might be able to catch these players off guard. 30 seconds left, so no time to play around. He needs to just try to find these kills. He spots one player out. The other one is passive. Turn around, but not looking at the right angle. Doc goes down, and now the 1v1, 1 HP versus 24. Wrinkle has the idea of where the player is. He's going to play it safe, fake it, wait for the peek, and Wrinkle's there to confirm the kill. So NIP break that little streak that Sharks was on and are able to find themselves in the upper hand once again.
Wrinkle just doesn't miss a beat, man. You said it yourself. You see him do things, and he just slow played it. Just formed Sharks to exactly where he wanted to be so he could take those 1v1s exactly how he wanted to, and ends it off with a quad.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything Wrinkle has touched so far has just been gold.
Yeah, whether it's the op or the rifle.
Yeah. Well, his Midas touch will need to continue because NIP still aren't out of deep waters quite yet. I mean, there's a chance that Sharks can tie this up, but Shush opening up the round is not going to be what they want to do that. Player advantage for NIP as they make their way onto the bomb site. Bomb will be planted very soon, and all 3 CTs are still localized towards A, most likely looking for the save.
The woes of being the CT side, realizing that it's a 3-on-4 when you can't retake, because if you do, you guys might die, and then if you die, there's no buy in the next round. You have more to lose in the follow-up round if you just kind of supersede this round and forget it happened. And it hurts. Sharks were on such a tear, 4 straight rounds, and 1 round is all it takes to reset them. That
is all it takes. And now NIP have found that score difference that we usually look for on Anubis, like a 7-5. Excuse me, 7-5 is pretty standard. But there's a chance you could take it just a little bit further.
Either 5-7. Again, Sharks off to a pretty solid start here. 4 rounds on the CT side of Anubis. You know, it's not bad. It's the start of something. Which, you know, if this ends 4-8, it gives, you know, 4 rounds advantage. But Sharks at that point just have to win the pistol, the opening pistol, the force buy, and the rifle. And they're nearly right there again. So it's not undoable. 5-7, though. Great pistol and also great score.
Probably one of the best guns in the game.
Cost effective, man.
Yeah. But either way, slow spread from the tee so far. Sharks do want to get a little aggressive into mid. Jerks will be tasked to try to stop whatever this CT force has in mind. Dancing around with the idea of peeking there, but instead it will just be some utility to block off that sideline. And now it appears that he grouped up towards water, trying to bait over some players towards the A bomb side. It's worked. There's 3 there right now. If NIP end up ending at A, this could be very disastrous for them, but the CTs are getting a little aggressive. The jump comes out. Romero does. He falls. Nade might be able to do some damage, but not quite enough. Snappy next to fall. Sharks able to maintain player advantage, but a double spray was almost in the books. 2v2 is how this is going to end. Both CTs are on the flank. They're being very loud, so they should be heard. MP not quite able to fight the spray, and Wrinkle blows my mind. Spray transfers that, gets that headshot, and NIP take the half 8-4.
Yeah, I think he almost was a little shocked that bullet hit him before he could even really transfer. Just the typical, you know, upward to the right AK spray just clips the head, gets the kill, and that's solid half for both teams realistically. Nip in obviously a better off position. Sharks aren't out of it though. Like I said, all it takes is, you know, the opening pistol, the second round, and potentially either, depending on how the second round goes for Nip, if it's a force or a save, the first real rifle will be the 3rd or the 4th round, which puts them right in contention again.
Yeah, this pistol's going to mean a lot. Ejirk's trying to get aggressive early, and so is Wrinkle, the man that we continue to talk about. Does a little bit of damage to Nick's boat. All will fall off and relocalize towards the B bomb site. Utility over. Heat start to flood in. The duelie's not quite able to land anything at first, but 2 kills now confirmed. Duelie's double up. Player Pizza will trade back. This is such a difficult position for Sharks to be in right now. Nix does combine with his teammate Shush there to keep them modest. Koala only 1 left, 12 HP. And he will meet his end as NIP take the 2nd pistol.
Seems like this has been kind of par for the course for Sharks. Sharks maybe be a little outclassed when it comes to the pistols, but once the rifles show up, Sharks are, you know, right there blow for blow with Nip. So now they just have to kind of, you know, stem the bleeding, you know, bide the time here, full save on this one, which they will, and just kind of focus on the rifles to come.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what you got to do at this point. I feel like you're not in enough of a deficit to try to force the issue. Although many teams do prefer the 2nd round force buy at this point in time.
They're taking this as a time for strategy as well?
Ooh, the good old French tactics where you'd sit and spawn for a minute and a half in the round.
I wish teams really did that more often. I mean, granted, if you don't need to, that makes sense, but it's nice. You know, don't have to waste that pause to, you know, call for a strat for next round. You just use that that pistol round to, and maybe more, because sometimes CTs want to get aggressive and walk, which is exactly what we're seeing here.
Yeah, Shush, he's about to line up a 5-player spray down. That's 1. That's 2. Can we make it 3? No, not quite yet, at least. It is Ujirks to clean that up. A full house combined. Ujirks and Shush clean up that round.
1 kill.
What?
2 kill.
What?
3 kill.
4. 4 kills.
What? God. Well, NIP are just going to take this one as a free round. They hit double digits, but they're going to keep the FAMASs, the MP9s, and Shush will just have his M4, while Sharks AKs and Galils aplenty for them.
Yeah, this is a do-or-die moment for the Sharks. Will they sink or swim here in Las Vegas? First map, again, of this best-of-5 finals. It is still anybody's series very early in the game. But this map definitely leaning towards NIP.
Yeah, I mean, this is Sharks map, right?
Yes, this is the pick of Sharks, and then Nuke is NIP. Ancient Sharks, Train NIP, Inferno, Decider.
And Ancient was kind of the map that we kind of, mutually agreed that Sharks have their best shot on.
Yeah.
And fourth would be Train if it comes to that. And NIP are strong. But, Sharks, it's not like this has been just a blowout match. At the very beginning, it was kind of blow for blow once those rifles came out for Sharks. And I think Sharks shouldn't be slept on.
No, not at all. They do aggress in through main. 2 CTs there. Molotov tries to block off the supporter of Koala. Well, the CTs fall back. And yeah, I mean, right now, I feel like the scoreline might look a little bit bloated due to just pistol rounds. It's a common trope we see in Counter-Strike right now. But Doc, once again, takes a snap out from the round. Trade straight back. 5v3 situation for the T side. This is their chance to get their footing back in the game. The FAMAS is not quite able to outclass the AK. And now flooding onto the bomb site. Only 2 CTs remain. Shush playing from the CT deep angle. A lot of damage done to him, and he'll finally fall. So Sharks crack open their second half with a first gun round win.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was alluding to. Sharks are just, some teams are just built to be a rifle team, and that's what we're seeing with Sharks here when it comes to at least versus up against NIP. NIP have a lot more bring into the table with firepower, but Sharks are firm contesting here. NIP winning these AKs, the Galils even come out with lesser weaponry, but again, NIP did have the downgraded rifles from the rounds prior, so this is the real test. Granted, there are still MP9s, but maybe that's by design. Standing in Molly is probably not by design, though.
No, usually if you stand in fire, it hurts a little bit. I am a firefighter, so that is a professional.
This guy hates
take.
heat.
What?
You hate heat.
I hate, oh yeah, right. I do hate heat, but you know what? Sometimes you can't handle the heat, you gotta get out of the kitchen. And this is where we decide if Sharks can handle this heat.
There's no kitchen on this map.
Come on.
It's not Inferno. That's later.
That's right, that's map 5. Wait a second. That's not Inferno.
Wait a second, that's not Flash. It was a smoke.
What are you talking about? 5v5 with a minute left on the clock. Not too much of anything happened this round. I mean, really not even much map control for the T's. Mid is completely gone. And now just trying to group up, I would assume, into a late B hit. Yeah, they start to cross in through water. Koala perfectly dodging the headshot angle, not being able to be seen.
But the rotates. It's so good.
This is perfectly timed. 30 seconds left on the clock. And Sharks only have to contest with Shush. And albeit Shush is a great player, but I don't know how many he can find. 2 is a lot better than it could have been. Now, with the MP9 aggressing, Snappy takes one more soul for his collection. 2 T's remain. Bomb finally being planted.
We are just going to see him kind of play peekaboo with Sharks, running back and forth, and Evox trying to just, make sure that they know he's still around. But good kill there. It's going to be a 3-on-2, a 3-on-1. He's down to a 1v1, and oh, what a clutch! Sharks take one out. You see the excitement from them. And that was a hold.
That was dirty.
It damn well was.
Goffalo not wanting to go down without a fight. Sharks, I feel like, are continuing to impress right now. We do have a little bit of a pause coming through. Hopefully it's not anything too serious.
That's a tech.
But yeah, I mean, Sharks, they don't want to fall down.
Sharks don't have legs to fall down on. They'll just float.
They're humans.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, true. Good call. But now only down 4 rounds. I mean, Sharks they're looking strong. NIP, that money has been broke. I wouldn't suspect that they're going to be forcing right now. I mean, but even if you take a look at the scoreboard too, it's fairly even-ish for Nip when it comes to kills. I mean, Shush 15 and 9. Sharks though, taking a look at the kills, they're kind of within that same realm, just a little bit down. You can see they're kind of on that upward trend. Doc, the outlier that we kind of were agreeing on when it came to Sharks, kind of the quiet one right now. 7-13. So if Doc starts performing at the level we kind of expected him to, maybe this is the map Sharks can take out.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be a slow start early on. We don't know. But there is still a lot of time left in the game. Although NIP are on double digits, they are on basically no money. Pistols are the only thing they're going to be working with this round. One Deagle is upgraded. That's on Shush, who's already down to about half HP. As the T's pretty direct contact into A main. 3 CTs waiting on the other side of this smoke. Depending on how aggressive they want to get, this could be a little dangerous for Sharks.
Yeah, 5.7s and Deagles are always dangerous. Granted, there's only one apiece of them. But I mean, if Sharks fall to any of these and it's a rifle retrieved or an op, I say that. Apollo finds themselves a quick double as he's going to double back in towards Canals, and it's going to be Koala waiting to help his team execute onto sight, but not if the Eagle starts ringing true from Shush. He's going to pick himself up a little bit of an AK. Nice little party gift in the round while the MAC-10 of RDH finds going. Another AK, and I think this is just going to be a save. Sharks find 7, but Nip, they got some rifles.
Yeah, best case scenario for what you expect into this round. I mean, you only had one Deagle upgraded. Everyone else on those default USPs. So saving 2 AKs and doing a little bit of economical damage to the side of Sharks is perfect. I mean, look at the money on these players. Koala on 800, Doc on 27. So albeit they will get enough money to buy with this previous round as long as one player drops, it's still very good work for NIP.
Yeah, I mean, Sharks are definitely starting to force Nip into a very uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
And you can see them being tested and stressed here. Well, the Sharks are starting to coast forward now, getting themselves locked in financially and mentally as well. Keeping 3 alive, that op kicking around on top, and that's going to be a huge impact to the economy, a huge kind of injection of money that they don't have to reinvest in. So it's going to help them kind of build up a little safety netting. Nip are going to call a timeout here, rightfully so.
Yeah, you really got to rethink what you're doing right now. I mean, you don't want to let Sharks continue this pace because 3 rounds being the difference, sure, NIP only need to win 3, but that's a very close game. Anything can happen, especially considering we are on Anubis. This is a T-sided map, and NIP haven't really been able to get aggressive enough to force control to be taken by them and be able to manipulate the board in the way they want to.
Yeah, I mean, we see Wrinkle, he has an AK, not necessarily the desired weapon he would probably want here.
I mean, he's been doing great work with it so far.
Sure as hell has.
He's 13 and 6.
That's true. But I also feel like when it comes to Anubis, an op on the CT side is kind of almost essential in a lot of times.
Yeah.
Just for the stopping power it brings, especially when you have to counter Nick's coup. I think is a huge reason as well. We've seen him clutch before with the op and just have huge impact with it. And to try and counter that, I think you need kind of a scoped rifle of your own. And there you go. Opening pick goes to the man himself who I was just speaking so highly of.
Yeah, asking you shall receive. Does open this round up. Arados first to drop. Now the T's start to regroup towards mid. This extremity has been left alone for the most part on this second half, but Sharks might want to push the issue just a little bit. Nice flick shot. Nix once again able to open this space up. He's not getting too aggressive with it yet. There's still a minute on the clock, so plenty of time to work with. But now you have to contest with Snappy trying to go for a little bit of info. T's are still localized majorly outside A. Anything is possible for the time being. Snappy now falling back towards mid. The read might be at the worst possible time. Koala will be the one to meet him there eventually, as the spray battle will come through the doorway in a moment, unless the timing is just there. But all 3 CTs are on the wrong bomb site.
Oh.
And surely at this point, I mean, do you just save as soon as you realize that they're going A?
Yeah. I mean, not much money. I mean, Snappy has some extra money back up here. They can fake it once. Just.
I thought we were going to have another bomb situation happen.
Yeah, as soon as you faked it once, I looked at the clock. I'm like, that says 7 seconds. They better do something quick. Koala on the hunt here, making sure that NIP can stay with it. Try to, but it doesn't actually matter. It is going to be Koala falling. But, I mean, Sharks can kind of throw a body or two, maybe one more, but they don't want to get overconfident. You know, RDN only has $850 left, so it's not like there's this big massive pile of money waiting for them in the next round. They still have to kind of play conservative here.
And RDN, the name you just mentioned, does drop. Shush finds 2 of those Ts, so not able to bring those guns to the next round. But what's most important is the op stays in play. Like we said, I mean, Sharks will be able to buy. They can drop over. Every player can basically afford for themselves. But that op still being in the picture does mean that there's a chance for the economy to continue to grow.
And grow it will. But this is going to be that time right here that if NIP don't pull this one out, you see 4 straight for Sharks. They kind of did this exact trend in the first half as well. Now they just kind of started a little bit earlier this time around. NIP aren't really running away with it, kind of like, you know, a lot of people might have predicted. Did a giant metal bar just drop?
That's what it sounded like a comical, like,
yeah,
the video clip you would find on YouTube.
Yeah, but you know, Sharks are looking really good, and they're kind of going blow for blow with NIP right now.
You know, I do want to point out that I feel like most of the rounds this game so far have been quite lopsided one way or another. It is a close competition when you go to the macro, but in the micro, I feel like everything's just been very one-sided. Each round, sure, maybe the kills go the way towards the end, but when you're getting into the post-plant situation and you're calling off the save, usually you're at like a 3-player disadvantage already.
Yeah, and I mean, right now we're seeing this slow, methodical mid-take here from Buffalo. Doesn't overextend, clears it, groups back up with his teammates, as it seems like B will be the site of choice for that smoke. Good timing there from NIP. Snappy, he's just holding the cross, and this actually might be good timing as he spots, he gets some information, but that could actually bait out a rotate, which is kind of exactly, Sharks are playing mind games, and I like that about them.
Yeah, I mean, they're not backing down to any sort of competition. You have to imagine that they do feel a bit anxious playing against a team like NIP, but they're not showing those nerves at all. The hit now has to come in. CT's in good position, trade back and forth early on. NIP with the player advantage, but not unless RDN and Nyx can have something to say about it. Sharks are impressing here on Anubis.
That was clinical. Surgical take on the site. NIP looked like they had control for a little bit, and then Sharks just collapsed on the site of just a black hole of energy, and just NIP were gone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, now, speaking of NIP being gone, they're gone to have no money. I messed that one up, but you know what I meant.
Totally.
Yeah, it's going to be the save coming through. 1 M4, pistols, singular SMG.
Hero M4 at that. I mean, Wrinkle, obvious choice.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Wrinkle just gets an ace. And, like, with 1 bullet, collats all of them at this point.
Not possible, but that man makes the possible, or sorry, the impossible possible.
Be a new tagline. Maybe you just started something.
I'm pretty sure that has to be somebody's company's tagline. It's got to be some
Make
like
the
AI
impossible possible.
AI group at that.
Oh, probably.
Or a pharmaceutical company.
Or like a construction firm. But either way, Molotov's through mid. Snappy's going to have to try to stop this push. The MP9 not quite able to do just enough damage. 2 Ts now make their way in through mid-house. it does seem that they want to connect onto this A-bomb site. 2 players there for the time being, but they're going to get sandwiched. Arados, at least it's a good way to start off this defense. Wrinkle there to double up. Shush combines for another one. 2 Ts left in play. The bomb is not in their hands. And as the CT spray through the smoke, Wrinkle again finds another one. Doc, you're the only one left. So close to tying it up, but NIP don't want to let the lead slip away quite yet. Player from Maine not quite able to get the kill. Maine does a little bit damage, but not ready for the push from camera. NIP keep their lead.
Not by much, though. And that was a round that Sharks were, that was the round to bring it right back, tie it up, and potentially put themselves in contestment to take this map. Granted, they're not out. Still money, still a round to go. At least a couple left. And only down a pair after winning 5 straight against NIP. I think it's doable. It's very doable for them.
It is very doable, but they need to lock it in right now. I like the impact that the op of Nyx has had. I feel like an opening kill from him might be exactly what they need.
They need something here quick while being distracted by some absolute stunning man cheeks. New age dunk right there. But Wrinkle, he's just gonna hold an angle.
Trades back and forth, almost a collab there. Nyx actually brought down to below 50 HP. But still, a pretty slow-paced round to be played out right now. E-box pressure might come through. The clear there for information could be big for the rest of this round, as the T's slowly want to move up towards mid. Op holding the angle for a potential peak, but I don't see T's there to be found. And the timing on Snappy right now is everything. He's playing with the thought of peaking, flirting around, able to get one, so it could have been a lot worse for wear. However, this puts the T's in position to start their aggress in. Arados finds one spray, another player in the smoke, a beautiful shot, and U-Jerks in the back line to fall it off. NIP, map point.
Arados, huge hold there. And even if he fell, time was ticking away, and he bought enough time for his team to rotate in. So, you know, if he got one at least and traded, it was in a fairly good position for NIP, whether it be on the retake or maybe they could catch him before the plant even comes through. But you see, starting to smile now, starting to feel a little better. One more point is all they need to take map 1. But Sharks, just so dangerous. And yeah, Tech 9 armor, but we've seen a lot of teams crumple to such a buy.
That's true. It's a tale as old as time. That you're 1 point away, the team has no money on the other side, but somehow you're able to scrape by, pick the round win. But Wrinkle with the op, I mean, surely he's going to put up some impact. 2 kills go his way. Spray from the window, Snappy combines. Only 2 players left for Sharks. Nade blows the smoke, a player spotted, a leg coming through. 18 points of health for Koala, as he's going to get burned out. Smoke to extinguish those flames. The bomb is just running away. Somehow he's still alive, trying to dance around in the smoke. This is a very dangerous game.
It is. Koala finding something. Oh, the time was almost in his favor, but Nyx, the man who has put up quite the fight himself. Last alive, Mac 10 position obviously known, but 13-9 NIP take map 1.
We might see something else, but waste not, want not, Buckethead. Let's go ahead and get into the action. We got map number 2 between the Ninjas in Pyjamas and the Sharks.
Yep, NIP starting on this T side. Sharks choosing to start on CT, as this is the map pick of NIP. They're just grouping up in lobby. I feel like they're just going to pop out very fast. Like, no silly business to be had. There is a good stack of CTs here, but the timing of these peaks are everything. Kills back and forth. Do see Sharks the advantage for now. And as they continue to fall, Wrinkle, the only one left. Sharks have completely cleaned up this piss round so far. Unless Wrinkle with 16 HP can get a Glock 4K, which I, again, wouldn't put it past him.
You never know. Wrinkle's pretty solid player. He's been having a hell of a tournament out here. Something else that we didn't mention before this one started is with Nuke being a map that Ninjas have been playing repeatedly in their BO3s at this tournament, there's actually quite a bit of stuff for the Sharks to go over and learn. The Ninjas in Pyjamas really only having to rely on really quick A executes and this fast default that they've been doing with the outside take and the A take. They haven't had to show anything else, but I think that they're going to get Sharks to forcefully respect that. Or they're going to get, the Sharks are going to get Ninjas in Pyjamas respect. Easy for me to say, Jesus.
Well, I was talking about before how NIP, even though they are, the favorites, they have been playing very respectfully, all things considered. They're not doing stupid rounds. They're not giving up stupid kills.
Right.
Maybe a little bit more aggressive than they should be, but everything's justifiable because they are just playing with confidence. It's not like they're playing with disrespect.
Right.
Either way, Wrinkle now walking onto the site, 16 points of health, 2 players to contest with. He surely will get swung from vent soon, and Sharks pick up that pistol.
Yeah, I was telling Anthony as well that the way the Sharks were playing in Anubis with getting to start on CT side here, just a few rounds in a row could get you what you need to get that momentum. That being said, no plant, that's not going to stop the Ninjas in Pyjamas from buying up into this round. They go all in. They've got 2 Tech 9s, 3 Eagles, and a decent amount of utility, and a pocket full of dreams.
Maybe they can turn that pocket full of dreams into a pocket full of sunshine. But it's going to take a lot of eco kills to make it go that way. Smoke on the squeaky door. Doesn't matter as Wrinkle, once again, locked in, finds that headshot to open up the round. Sharks still should stay calm and collected. Opening kill doesn't necessarily mean much, especially when you can just tap through the smoke. Koala wanting to make it even Steven. As the T's drop through, gonna combine for another one. The spray almost there. Can he collect the last? No, Wrinkle's Deagle is there once more. Ujerk's last player alive, playing outside, walking in through Mini. It seems like the CT is ready for him. Shot miss, a chance to regroup. MP9 picked up. And he does have armor, so if this kill can get through and he doesn't lose health, this is an interesting situation, but he won't quite be able to get that done. Sharks, keep it cool.
Yeah, that was a really nice ramp hold from, I think that was Koala there at the bottom. A little questionable from Ninjas in Pyjamas. They kind of came out that one at a time. Gave Koala several 1v1s instead of overwhelming him, but still, for Koala to stay calm under pressure there, come through, get the kills that they need. They keep 3 alive. They're going to keep their economy going. They still got the full buy here. And Ninjas forced onto the save. They will have the Deagles this round. And looks like they're going to see what they can see outside, see if they can collect 1 or 2. And you certainly can never discount Deagles from a team like Ninjas in Pyjamas.
No, I mean, these
Especially
players
with
are
Wrinkle.
all, Wrinkle by himself is an absolute beast, but all these players are very, very tenured and mechanically great players. They've all dipped their toes in Tier 1. Ujerk's opening up the round. That Deagle, as you mentioned, very impactful, but Doc, his number finally gets called upon. Picking up 2. As Nix finds another one, only 2 Ts remain.
Yeah, I guess I'm probably going a little bit as expected. I talked Wrinkle up there and then missed the full Deagle mag, and they eventually shut him down. It's just Shush last alive. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Sharks out here. I mean, coming into the grand finals, they've got to be feeling good about some of the teams that they've beat. They just took out the Blue Jays, who were kind of a dark horse favorite here. And yeah, Shush is going to try to whittle away these numbers. That's a beautiful shot there on Hell. Didn't mean to just talk right over it and miss it, but maybe he can get another one. What do you think?
I think there's a chance for one more, but there's definitely not a chance that he's going to win this round. I mean, bombs all the way back towards T-spawn. All you can really do is just try to whittle away at that economy. As he goes up heavy, making a lot of noise. Another headshot found. Ooh, very nice shooting out from Shush, but Koala able to secure that round without too much bleeding.
Yeah, let's get loud in here. Let's hear for these Sharks. They're going to bring it to the Ninjas in Pyjamas. We're going 5 maps. It's going to be a triple overtime. It's going to be a recreation of the grand finals down in Melbourne, I imagine here. But we're getting it right here live in Las Vegas. Sharks up 3-0 to start, but now we finally get into our first gun round of the game. Full buy from the Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, outside push comes and Ujerx finds the first. These smokes will allow the T's to progress if they want to. The nade blows open, but no one quite there to receive any shots. As Ujerx aggresses towards garage. We saw him do this against Energy earlier before. But the op seems to be ready for it. An unlikely miss. Nyx now finds himself in a very difficult position, though Ujerx falls back, and him and Shush continue to go on a tear. Koala and Nyx fall at the same time. So NIP, as soon as the guns come out, they're firing.
Yeah, once they can get that outside set of utility, like I was saying at the beginning, the Ninjas on Nuke in this tournament so far, what I've seen, been very reliant on just that fast, quick A-take and default, and they've been really able to just blow the teams out that they're playing against with that. But now the Sharks seem to have picked up on that's kind of their strat and have shut it down, and now Ninjas are forced, as soon as they get to this gun round, just instant outside, show them what else they got. Ujerx taking all that space, getting up there. Missed op shot from Nyx. I'm not sure if that's nerves or what, but
sometimes it happens, man.
Sometimes
I mean,
it happens.
obviously we could chalk it up to a few different things, but sometimes you just shoot and you miss.
No, I don't. I always hit my shots.
I've never done that in my life.
I never die legit either.
Someone's always cheating.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But the scout is out.
The scout is out.
Scout also has a potential for a one-shot kill to the head. Has a potential to kill 3 people with 1 bullet.
That's right, it does, as a matter of fact, and hopefully we'll see it if that happens here. And all that being said as well, you know, we're talking about the scout. What was that?
What is going on? All right, he's good.
We're good. All right, that was
was scary for a little bit.
Spinning out there. Okay, a little something information peak, but Wrinkle's going to punish, collect himself 2, as a matter of fact. And what I was trying to say is the Sharks, despite having that 3-0 opening, their economy is kind of in shambles here, and this force buy is not going as expected or as hoped. The scout might be able to find something to repeat. That's a nice little shot. But again, the Ninjas really setting a very frustrating tempo for the Sharks to have to work around right now, because the Ninjas explode at the beginning of the round and then just wait. And that is so frustrating to play. Snappy catching RDN off guard there on site. And these last 2 players for the Sharks pretty far away from each other. I mean, Gafalo is maybe going to move towards ramp and try to save with this scout, but yeah, clean round from Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, and you bring up pacing, which I think is a big difference between the play styles of the different regions in Counter-Strike. You know, Brazil is known, actually, you know, I'll say North America and South America, is known for very just aggressive, like once your foot is on that gas, shoot it. If you can, if you get that spacing and you can go and get further and get more map control, you just keep going until they stop you. You know, and in Europe, it's a very tactical game. It is like a big chessboard. Each piece needs to have different territory in order for the bigger picture to secure you the win.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that sets EU apart from the rest of the regions in the world, because I think that the Asian region also kind of suffers from that like explosive mentality, because it can easily catch people off guard. But yeah, being able to dictate the flow is very, very powerful. And yeah, save round for the Sharks, and Ninjas in Pyjamas are happy to shut them out of heaven with a hefty amount of utility, put the bomb down, and I think we got ourselves a tie game here, Donnie.
Yeah, we definitely do. I mean, these 2 USPs, not going to be able to get much of anything done, especially with a nice little spray transfer from Wrinkle. This kid is red hot today. I'd say a definite favorite for MVP of the tournament.
Yeah, he has been a ton of fun to watch here.
And you can look at him in all of his glory with these OBS cameras.
With the OBS bot?
The OBS cameras.
You love to see it. And you can see it all with the OBS cameras.
Yeah. Shout out to OBS bot once more. We've sung them glory, but it's genuinely impressive.
Yeah, we're very, very grateful for all the sponsors we have down here at Fragadelphia, and we're also grateful for moving into this next gun round. There's a FAMAS on the board for the Sharks, and a single kit. And most of their utility extended early on. Okay, Wrinkle getting out into mini. There's going to be the kill coming through. Trades now. Orosto shutting it down. Couple of headshots coming through. One more, why not? It's going to be two. One for Shush and one for Snappy. And that will be the round for Ninjas in Pyjamas. They find themselves in the lead for the first time on their map pick here.
Huge impact from Arados. They're able to just completely separate that bomb site and get those 2 kills very, very fast.
Well, look how fast they get into mini there. Like,
Yeah.
It's a gun round, and 10 seconds into the round, the mini player's like, oh shit, there's somebody falling down on top of me right now. It's insane.
It is insane, and what is insane as well is Sharks still financially haven't been able to recover. I feel like they've been on not a full live for the past 4 rounds. But either way, NIP starting to march their way through. The bombs being planted already without any contention from the CTs.
Yeah, another
I'm not even
save.
sure. Did they stack ramp there?
It looks like that, yeah. I'm not exactly sure where they went. All of a sudden, Ninjas were just out onto ramp, and I mean, blink and you miss these rounds from the Ninjas. It's wild to watch how fast they are on this map.
Yeah, again, it's all about pace control. They know how to condition, they know how to change pace, and make it work in their favor. If you're controlling the tempo of the game, you control the heartbeat, you control every single aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think the Sharks are hoping they can maybe get some exits out of here. Nix is going to get one on the 5-7, and P9 at range. Not exactly its ideal spot, but Ninjas in Pyjamas only keeping 2 alive. Some good damage for the Sharks against the Ninjas. We'll get back into the gun round. We'll have full utility. We'll have that op, and we will also have ourselves a Sharks timeout.
You know, I thought the crowd was in favor for NIP in this final. When we asked them before, they were making a lot of noise for NIP, yet not hearing a lot of noise right now. Your team is up 5-3. Let them know that you're supporting them. Come on.
Let's get rowdy!
There we go. I just want to hear some noise.
Yeah.
Since the convention center has closed down, again, thank you for letting us stay past time as we had a little bit of tech delays. But it's got very quiet.
It
Because
has.
there's not just the noise from everything else.
That means everyone in here is forced to listen to us, Donnie.
Good, they should be.
Yes. Well, and we're so grateful to get up here. Okay, back-to-back time.
SA.
Save.
Hey, you know what? I like it. I like it. You committed to the bit, and you know what? I think just because of that, now everyone needs to switch over for Sharks. You know, like just that sign alone.
That's comedy.
That is comedy. That is actually really funny. I like that.
I laughed out loud. I LMAO'd. I raffle coptered. Easy for me to say.
I don't even know what that one means. But either way, I do know that this timeout is slowly coming to an end. Just normal freeze time now, waiting for the next round to start. Sharks finally have something going for them economy-wise. The op is out for Nix once more. And Wrinkle's still deciding to stay on the AK. I mean, even without the op, it's had a huge impact. 9-4 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think T-side op on nuke is something that it's kind of optional. It's not necessary to being able to win rounds, especially like look at how fast Ninjas are. Already here we got Shush out towards Ben, spotted in smoke. No, he's not going to be able to collect the kill. RDN shuts him down and takes a little damage from it. Now he's moving even faster though, spilling onto the side. It's 3 more kills for the Ninjas. Nix is looking for 1 more. Only able to get 2. Maybe that's enough as Koala has some positioning here in vent. Might be able to find a timing coming up for the split. 1 player in hut, 1 player at closed vent, but there's the timing from behind. Wrinkle's gonna shut it down, and Ninjas in Pyjamas find their 6th.
I do have to say, to me, it appears that the nerves are starting to get the Sharks. I feel like just the way that they're playing, it looks a lot different from newest. There's a lot less confidence in just the movements that they're making, much less the aggression that they're making as a team. They're not really trying to control the pace. They're just succumbing to whatever NIP wants them to do.
Right.
And if they want to try to get back into this, they need to start that now. I mean, it's already 6-3 down. If you're on the CT side, you at least need to tie this half.
Absolutely. Well, and that's hard though when Ninjas are in Pyjamas is so good at isolating these fights. I mean, so many times the Sharks just haven't even been able to trade because because of the fact that the Ninjas are so overwhelming in force. But MP9 armor, another light buy from the Sharks. Maybe they can sneak one off the Ninjas. Maybe they can ninja one off of them.
Maybe. We need some hype plays going on. We need something to get the blood flowing just a little bit. And you know what? That might be the way to start it. The MP9 of Doc connects with Ujert. He falls down first, and now the fall back into his teammates' arms to stay safe. The bomb will start to double back towards outside as clear space in garage. Another MP9 kill keeps Sharks afloat in this game. But they're going to have to keep going. I mean, there is still the weaponry advantage for everyone on NIP, especially as the Molotov forces the angle. Shush tries to even it up. There is still a man advantage for Sharks.
Oh!
And now as Snappy finds one more, Shush combines for another. Koala not wanting the man advantage to stay there for long, but NIP doesn't care. They're going to keep it going. Koala now 1v2. The bomb is still on the lower bomb site. It seemingly is going to make its way up through vent. Yes, it will. Going to get planted on the A bomb site. Koala's making a lot of noise. They're going to hear him coming from ramp. They know he's going to go up to heaven. So he needs to try to dictate these fights. There is no kit in play. At this point, do you just save?
No, I think you go for this because this is your save round and you're going to buy next round and you're in a position where you desperately need round wins. But I think he's made so much noise and then not really committed to getting up here quickly that actually by the time I'm done saying all of this, that yes, he should actually save. So
yeah, it was just, again, it
no,
just feels
and then
like there's a lack of confidence right now. You know, it feels like they're...
Well, there's a lack of confidence as well because of the fact that every time it feels like the Sharks have an advantage, the Ninjas just come out of nowhere and shut them down. Like, that was a 5v3 round. The Sharks had the numbers, and I missed whether or not they were like trying to group up there. Oh, there he is. He's not happy about what's okay. No, that's funny. That's more comedy. Donnie, it's nothing but funny stuff down here at Frag Vegas. And good games of Counter-Strike.
There we go. There we go. There's also good games of Counter-Strike. That was there are some fun things going on right now.
Including Ninjas in Pyjamas never being scared when they're down in advantage.
No, I mean, again, you can say it all day long. NIP, they are the favorites. They're going to play the way they want to play because that's how they feel they should. They feel like they are above the rest of the competition here, and they've proved it. NRG is the only team that's put up any sort of fight, unless Sharks wants to continue to battle back. It is even trades early on in the round, a little bit of health advantage for the CT side. Playing that pixel angle, smoke will go down, but the team do beat the smoke to Bloom. Snappy coming up with one more. As kills go back and forth, player vet is so low. Molotov forces him out into the spray of Aerodose. Koala, only one left. And he try to make it up the vents. He does get the bomb down. Now we can start talking interesting.
And Aerostos is very low. He has to be careful. He's not ready for you. Jerks close by. And I was just going to say, one of the hardest things for the Sharks right now is the fact that they are never fighting just a single player on Ninjas in Pyjamas. They are looking at two of them every single time. The Ninjas are playing absolutely immaculate team play Counter-Strike here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give that up to both the coach and the IGO, Exist and Snappy. Veterans of the game, they know Counter-Strike. They have influenced so many things within this game that if you're talking any sort of tactic, there's a chance that back in the day, they did it before anyone else.
Yeah, they know ball.
They know ball.
Thank you, King.
Yeah,
3
no
smokes
worries.
outside.
That's a big wall of smoke.
Yeah.
This might be a big hold.
Of course, Wrinkle won't go down without a fight, though.
No.
Securing the only kill for his team right now. Aerodose somehow sneaks through the cracks and gets the bomb planted on B. Sharks need this round. This is the last round and a half. Obviously, they're going to go for it. But, like, a 9-3 half just feels so much worse than an 8-4 half. Because if you lose pistol round, you're down that many rounds, you're stuck. Either way.
Does not feel good. Yeah, here they come. They're trying to spill in. They've got the numbers, not for long. The HP advantage as well, but there's Wrinkle. Lining him up, knocking him down. 3K once again for the young prodigy. And here we go. Ninjas in Pyjamas up 9-3 going into CT side now. Sharks have quite the uphill battle here.
Yeah, Wrinkle doesn't even look impressed with himself.
Yeah.
He just looks like this is
business
just an
as
everyday
usual.
thing. Yeah, this is what he does. This is why he was such a exciting prospect when he first moved up to the main roster of NIP. And you know what? This is a great start. This is a fantastic start. They do have other tournaments ahead, as I mentioned before. They're going to be competing in Astana. So ride this wave of momentum. If you can finish off Fragadelphia on top in a dominant fashion that you have so far, it's a lot of confidence.
Yeah. And it's obviously it's good experience. You get the travel experience, everything. But now we get into our second pistol round. Those dualies that Aerostos loves so much. Only able to find one this time. He's been a master of the 3K with those. The 2-for-2 trade here. Now trying to come in. Snappy sends them packing. Hopefully, no. It's just going to be EU-Jerks last alive, but not for long. And the Sharks find themselves a pistol round. Nuke is a historically T-sided map. We all know this. More comedy.
Yeah, it's always has been, especially back in the good old days of Go and the old Nuke. You know.
Oh, yeah.
You'd get like 12-3 halves when you're on the T side every single time.
Every single time. Man, that I remember the old days of Nuke. Literally, you would have like sometimes 13-2, 14-1 halves, and you knew that it could still just spin back around to the other way once you got to CT side.
And, you know, I feel like that dynamic was kind of fun. Like, people hated Nuke because of that, like, such a dominant CT side, but it was fun to claw back those games when you did switch sides and you had like a rough T side. You could just battle back CT.
Oh yeah.
That's not how it is anymore now. Now it's much more balanced, and there genuinely is a chance for Sharks to claw their way back in.
Yeah, I think so. I like the force buy from the Ninjas here. They get the scout outside. They immediately let them know that they have forced into this round, or at the very least that one player has. But the Sharks have got superior firepower, 3 Galils plus the AKs. This is where it gets spicy though, is if the Ninjas in Pyjamas find this round, they're picking those AKs up, and that will spell certain doom for the Sharks. So must-win round for the Sharks here, and that's going to be a fantastic opening. Snappy trying to get a little cheeky in secret there. But numbers for the Sharks, and they're just going to go ahead and happily trot down on through the stairs into the B-bomb site maybe.
And Sharks don't really seem like they even want to contest with the idea of trying to retake secret or vent control.
No.
Wrinkle just gonna hold from afar.
I actually wonder if the Ninjas are discussing, hey, if they don't go, if they're going to gamble B site, and if they don't come down here, just save what you have.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they did invest quite a lot, and again, like I said, NIP has been playing with a lot of respect, so I think it's a very realistic outcome. Although now, the majority of this team has shifted their way down. Aerodos combines with Snappy to pick up 1 kill. Sharks still in control for the time being, especially after Aerodos' head gets ripped off. Now making their way up the vents. There is still 1 CT player on the site. The 5-7 has done massive things, but it's going to need to find more than 1. That's 2. The bomb has been denied. Shush. Putting the team on his back. Can he find 1 more? The 5-7's there, combined with the MP9, and NIP straight back on top.
That's going to be hard for the Sharks. They're going to look at that one in demo review and really beat themselves up, I imagine, because you got to clear your sights. You got to clear your sights, even if you really think that they're all shading and gambling down towards the other site. That's the prime example as to why you always clear your sight. Fantastic play from Shush to show the patience, grab that low HP player, and then deny the bomb plan on top of everything. So even if Sharks are going to force into this round, but all they have is Tech 9 armor and no utility, save for this 1 flash.
Who knows? This could be the greatest flash of all time.
It might be. You never know.
You never know. I mean, if it's thrown towards ramp, it could get. That's a huge nade, and a good spray down to continue it. Suddenly, only 1 player remains in the lobby. Tech 9 in hand, but I feel like not much hope in this round. It's just, well, I know not much hope in this round. Let me correct myself.
No.
Doesn't even put up a fight as Shush swings from the doorway. NIP find penultimate map point on map 2.
They're doing all right out here. It's going to be real tough for the Sharks. They have to save to try to fight for 8 rounds into overtime, unless they somehow pull a miracle round here with Glock, no armor. This is looking like a pretty easy map for the Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, I mean, this was the whole thing. As soon as Nuke became the second map, like, Sharks needed to win Anubis, which they were close to, and then now they're literally going to need to win Ancient if they want to try to battle into this series. Only Glocks into this round, as the previous Force Buy came to no avail at all. And I don't want to say it's over, but this round is going to go in NIP's favor. They're going to have 8 match points. What do you do?
You lock in. You lock in and you take it one round at a time.
That's actually good advice. That's all you can do.
It's literally all you can do. You just have to stay focused. You have to keep trying. You can never give up. And obviously, neither one is doing that. They might be able to find one, but no, you jerks does collect 2. They eventually trade him out, but the support coming through. 1 more, 2 more. Gafalo making it a 2v2.
Yeah, maybe locking in is all they had to do, as now there's a potential to steal back around. Snappy MP9 will be trained and poised, however. So even though getting close towards the end, NIP do find that map point.
I thought for a moment that might have been the miracle round from the Sharks. That was the miracle that they needed.
That's the type of round that can sway the momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, anything can happen in Counter-Strike. Vitality was down 12-6 last night in Map 5 and fought back to triple overtime or whatever it was to win. So
to win a Grand Slam.
Yeah, to win a Grand Slam. And so you never count yourself out. You never give up. You never surrender. Always play your hardest. Always push yourself to do your best. And regardless of how this map is going, it does feel like at the very least the Sharks have not just given up on themselves. It's just a very tough opponent that they're having to play here in the Ninjas in Pyjamas. Speaking of, they will find that opening on RDN, forced to watch his 4 teammates last alive try to save round 17 here. Push this to a potential overtime. That's a nice little trade, Donnie.
Yeah, that is a trade back, so even scenes as the clock continues to count down. 2 players have moved across towards Secret. Wrinkle scarily close to getting a wall bang there, just a little high. But the swing from Lockers does see him find one before Doc trades him out. Wrinkle out of the round is a very important factor. He has been on such a tear. 97 ADR, 17-9. But without that impact player, maybe Sharks can try to battle back. Snappy does spot. He's trying to play around the corner, and that's a nice headshot. So Sharks now with the player advantage, and there's still a decent bit of time to work with. You could still try to maneuver maybe in a way the CTs aren't ready for. Although Udrik's getting aggressive, finding one. Can't find anything more than that. His Iberian brother is going to have to try to finish this out. He can bring NIP all the way to map 3 already. But I will say, Sharks are in the position to maybe, just maybe, keep themselves alive.
What's going to get hard here, though, is in this 1v2 is the time ticking away, 10 seconds. And again, they haven't cleared out this site. Going to clear it out, get them down. Spray, get out of there. That will be Ninjas in Pyjamas moving on to map number 3. Absolutely incredible play from Aerostos in the 1v2.
Yeah, well, one thing I do know is that we've got Ancient, we've got map 3, potentially the last. NIP, they've been cooking it up all series long. This would be the place to close. This would be the pace to finish, and this would be the pace to set if your Sharks actually very swiftly getting in towards Cave.
Yep, great position, Ari. Just kind of playing this one safe, jiggle peeking for the information towards Jaguar, but we are going to see Sharks a drop towards mid to Donut. Definitely a different route that we don't particularly always see here. As this is just taken to contact here, eventually does find a kill, traded by the Molly itself. Instantly before he even saw a reaction from Ripple. And it is going to be a 3-on-3 right now, as this bomb can potentially try and get itself down unless something terrible happens.
Snappy had the flash. He was playing a deep side CT. He was going to attempt to set Aras Dawson, you jerks, up for this one, but now it's going to be dry. It's going to be one man down, but still very much so aware of a close range position is you jerks, but still too short to the shot. He hits the ground in more ways than one. Once with his legs and then his back as he folds. It looks like this should very well be a post-plant undoable. Aras with too many angles to pull between. He's going to play it patiently, but patience is only going to get you so far. It may be a virtue, but wrath is what you need to strike down upon here. There's the first, a second tunked, not facing his dock, and it's the best call to make. He trusts in RDN, and he'll deliver.
Yeah, absolutely strong post-plant there from the Sharks. They definitely were aware of exactly what was going to happen in that one.
Let's see if 9 F Sharks can get 2 rounds, perhaps? Question mark.
it's definitely on the cards for this one, but there is that force buy coming out of the Ninjas in Pyjamas. MP9's available on a few players, some upgraded Deagles, 5-7, but Shush is going to fall in mid. They're scaling very quickly, already pushing the ramp. Trying to push out through cave is Arisdosi, and he's able to find that one. Snappy with an absolute drive-by with a 5-7, able to find one more. It's a 3-on-3.
There's going to be Wrinkle making his way back and going to recover and scavenge that MP9. He's going to make sure it lockdowns. He should be able to hear this rotate. The footsteps very obvious for him, so now he can call the rotate, maybe call it rotate. But he's going to actually take the fight instead. Doesn't matter, as Sharks going to get themselves that man advantage. And Snappy fighting towards Donut, gets tagged up, falls back, and this might either be a save for them if they're... Yeah, he's going to be saving now.
There was a world, I feel like, with that AK-47 being in play. I mean, they had a lot of utility on the player who attempted to flank at the backside of A main. But if he had stood up and actually won that, I very much so am a believer in this one. But still giving it a good go is Jerk. Snappy nowhere in sight. He's going to try and do it all. Turns back out and actually gets an upgrade. May be able to put Kafolo in his place. Snappy still not yet committing, but he has no kit. Jerks, he may run it in, but I feel like it's going to be a consolation. Just trying to pull maybe a couple extra bucks, but that... not even going to be secured. It's going to be Gafolo, who's got nothing to worry about. Little does he know. It's Snappy, hands off mouse, hands on the call for the next to make sure that they've got everything as far as an investment were to go. They've got to save one more time, but, you know, again, he's got that armor. He's got that smoke. He's got that AK. You can make miracles out of very little.
Yeah, indeed they can. AK retained for Snappy, so that once again, this should be a little bit of a hero AK round out of the Ninja side, but if there's anybody that can do it, and anybody I've seen so far here in Level Up Expo, in partnership with us here at Fragadelphia, it is indeed
Nice.
Mr.
Smooth.
Snappy.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Oh, hopefully Sharks are smooth with this round as well, as they, again, have this 0-2 start. Very, very solid performance thus far, but mid not yet truly contested until RDH decides maybe mid is choice for him.
Now flash down bottom B steps. One player just playing anti. The next just beside him holding for shelf. And good ball. Goodbye. The first of the very few pieces now that NIP have in terms of weaponry that's worth their while. It's an AK-47 that's been tossed to Arazdos in full confidence. It's not going to be a save. It's not going to be them playing for the future. Instead, they're trying to play for the now. Living in the moment. He's the last line of defense at a close distance, but Arazdos puts that down. Eventually a re-aggression, and now the action's upon us.
Got 3-on-3 here.
Uh-oh.
3-on-2 actually, as Wrinkle falls to the MP, the MAC-10 of Koala. Shush with the trade back there, so it is an even 2-on-2, but the HP advantage is going to favor the 9F Sharks in this one. Bomb should be going down here in about 5 seconds or so. The CTs are already here. It's Shush. Snappy rotating in through mid. It's going to be a little late to the party here, but Shush trying to establish himself early in this one.
Oh, Shush may have found the timing to divide these Ts here. Playing very, very deep angles. Doc clearing the deep side of main, doubling back towards site, now trying to group up with his teammate. Snappy going to start speeding things up. Shush starts clearing the deeper ends of this site, but the good crossfire set between Doc and RDA. Taps it once, tries to draw on a peek, and he does, but he's had to sacrifice for his life. Doc last life, 1v1, gets the kill. It's 3-0, Sharks. And Nip, not looking as untouchable as they were before.
Sigh of relief you can see coming out from the Wiz and the Sharks, but it's been brought to my attention. I've been beckoned by Get the Bag Mark to say hello, so I wasn't aware. Seemingly I missed all of his messages.
Did you see his new grill?
Hello, Mark. I did.
He's going to do some magic
Chef
with that.
Mark, Chef Latre.
Yes, getting the Blackstone.
Yeah.
Going to level up his cooking game there. I cannot wait for the Get the Back Mark cooking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get the Back Mark live.
It's Get the Bread Mark.
Oh, yeah, get the bread. Yeah.
Oh, wait, burning. In bucket. Had to, I think, smoke himself out. Oh, he's already been taken down between the smokes, though. Very well placed from NIP. They knew what they wanted to isolate. They do so well. Snap. Maybe too much. Maybe not enough. He's actually gone in for another kill. I didn't think he'd be able to, but that's them still managing a 3 versus 3 9 Sharks, and I keep calling them that. I'm thinking 9 pandas every single time I read the 9. They need to get rid of that immediately.
Just Sharks, just Sharks.
I'm trying.
Cut it short.
Once again, another 3-on-3, just like the previous round here, but at this time, it's going to favor the Ninjas in Pyjamas. Only 7 HP available here with Nyx. A little bit of exchange of utility as well. It's going to be them pushing in towards A. Aerosdot's going to have to be an absolute unit here on the A bomb site in defense. Shush also searching for a little bit of information here. A lot of action.
I mean, they've committed to the idea that nothing's going on really in-house with Shush having gone for that clear. They already had a player at the deep sides of B main. It would have to be a wicked timing. With the smoke, though, up in their faces, it really does only just confirm that A is more likely than not going to be the finish. But Nyx have to do it again. Will he at 7 HP have to be a difference maker? Only one that's going to be able to go for a swing if they'd like to deny the plant early. Aerosdos at a medium to long range distance. Nobody seen by him but Shush. He doesn't require vision, and he'll be able to get that one before the C4 is even punched. No chance at another post plant, and no chance from the third either, as he too will fall not to Shush, but from the extremities of Temple.
Yeah, and these last couple rounds have been so close. We see Sharks being stretched their limits now financially, and they're going to be down to the last couple of dollars. A buy will be on the board, but this is the defining round for this first half for both sides. It's make or break. Granted, NIP have a little extra cash on top, but being the CTs, you know, having $1,700 is still like borderline, like, do I save or don't I?
His jump is great. It needs to be noted. He doesn't see anything at the bottom sides of B. There is only one, and if you were to have seen him, it would have been a freebie, and eventually he'll actually go back up. Not prepared for that whatsoever is Doc. He thinks the molly is a wall, but seeing over top, it's the sniper that puts the A1S to good use.
Yeah, and with that information here, they know it's going to be a hit towards A. You have some players already pushing in through elbow. Another one's going to rotate here through Gunna very shortly. But it is Shush at the headshot position here. Finds two at big box. Takes a little bit of a dink, but it is through. And the party is here, and that is the cleanup for Shush. Once again, Ninjas in Pyjamas finding some extra rounds here. They're calling this one back, 2-3.
Not sure if you guys heard. I was the one screaming, "I love you, Shush," over and over again during that first 2 map set, so. Actually, at one point, you thought I was talking about Sharks. I said, "I love you, Shush," and you were like, "That guy loves the Sharks," and I was like, "No, no."
It was because right when we asked it, if I remember correctly.
You guys said, "Who wants NIP?" And I said, "I love you, Shush," and then you were like, "Who wants Sharks?" And I was like, "I love you, Shush."
See, we just heard shh, and I was like, that says Sharks. If he said 9F Sharks, I would have known a little bit better. So that realistically, that's what now Shush doesn't know if he loves it.
This is just going to be a little bit of a throwaway, though. Nine popped out of the smoke, no flash to make mark all these players with full vision. Show another multi. Take it every day of the week. And this bomb, I mean, it's not really basic now as this A site's been closed. Good luck getting in next. 1v5. Holy moly. Snap your fingers and the round is over.
Yeah, we saw this a lot actually with Ninjas against Rebel. In their play, we actually got to interview Shush afterwards, and we kind of thanked him for it a little bit, as a majority of the rounds ended about 30 seconds or so in with their pushes on the nuke. So they look to be trying to put their foot on the gas here. Maybe, you know, maybe they have dinner reservations potentially after this one that they would like to get.
Maybe a Brazilian steakhouse?
Ooh. I like that.
I actually could go for this.
I just leave the card on green, my friend. Bringing it.
I mean, Nyx is just delaying the inevitable at this rate. I mean, he's hoping that somebody from NIP gets a little bit overzealous. They get a little bit antsy and try to it won't happen. They're just toying with him. They're trying to pull him closer and closer. And they're not going to be able, as this 3-3 now lead dwindled from Sharks, they have some decisions to make. I mean, they've been kind of, I wouldn't say mismanaging their economy. They've been using it in a way where they have a clear idea as to what they want to do, but with very little in terms of funding in those. They've been playing with less and continuously building their loss bonus to where next round's going to be the big boom.
How many big booms exactly?
One big boom.
One big boom. All right, confirmed one big boom.
Unsubscribe.
But I mean, if it seems like there's 5 big booms towards top mid stage come out, but it means absolutely nothing. It is a very early 4 on none, because it's again one of those situations, just a bloodbath, the grinder of human flesh towards bottom mid. NIP somehow in the span of 4, maybe 5 minutes have now gotten lead of 4-3.
See, this is actually what worked for them. You know, this is the type of pace that we kind of expect. We've seen this actually a majority of the weekend when these kills are coming in for Ninjas, especially if they're Stosk and 4 in that one. They're all coming at the same time when they're popping and establishing themselves themselves on these retakes here on the CT side, pushing the team off the angles. And nothing but kills in their favor.
Just a steady this feels like a DM server right now, in all honesty. It's a 3-on-1. Koala last alive, and he's off doing other things, apparently. He's all the way wrapped in through CT spawn, now making his way back to B. No bomb, though, but he's got a gun, and I think he might want to save.
Yep, Koala's got a gun. You know, it's kind of like being on the Las Vegas Strip, where it's like it seems like everything's really close together, but like when you're actually walking it, everything is super far away, and it seems like that's kind of like what was happening to Koala. But he able to find one, but he's on low HP. It's a dink onto Koala through the box, but 45 HP, gonna force Shush back, but Snappy's here towards the back elbow position. Koala aware he could be there. Gotta get this bomb though.
Shush has already had a bit of a stunner. I mean, anything more now, being asked of him would be hard, but I wouldn't count him out of the question either. He's playing the closer space. Low HP makes sense next to swing. High HP contact from Snappy will be even better so. Wait to see if he can isolate that first. If Snappy just holds his nerve, he can't peek before Shush dies. That mark though, and covered from beneath. Even still, not able to adjust. Koala very nearly able to keep those players between one another and actually pull them apart, but not going to happen, not this time. And now this lead doubled up. That one big boom, I think I might have delivered that one a little bit too soon. Might have needed to wait for the round to actually have transpired.
Well,
a couple of Sam's Club guys on the couch, huh?
I used to work for Costco.
You guys can't listen. I've been listening to this broadcast for 2 days now.
Yeah.
You can't shake your head at me for saying anything, all right? not even a singular one of these people.
Listen, no, I didn't know how to break it to you that I don't shop it either.
You guys said chicken jockey at least 3 times yesterday, and I think I wanted to actually.
Do you understand what I've been going? What you heard was 3. What I heard was 20. Majority of them from King. So, Tony, you know nothing of my pain. Shut up, King. I was making a point, and you actually solidified the point. So, in a sense, thank you. It's like it just hurts.
Bombarded.
It's like this audible tumor in your ear.
La 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 la.
Can the stream hear him?
No.
Thank God.
Well, potentially, depending on what button he hits, he actually can.
Something tells me he's just trying to make us look like we're delusional and schizophrenic on purpose.
Actively trying to find the button that lets him be heard and then
La la la
eventually
lava.
kills the stream.
Chicken.
We're not doing this. I'm not doing this either. Turn it off. Turn that off.
Was it going to bread?
Yes.
See,
Steve's lava
We're
chicken.
reinventing the couch now. We're going to talk about Counter-Strike. We're going to talk about the fact that this is a grand final, damn it. This is map 3. This is NIP. This is a team, again, that needs these points. They need that major. They've been working towards this so many a time. They've been on the brink of being able to bring their name back into the top in the forefront of Counter-Strike. And here's the chance they have. At Fragadelphia, the big Las Vegas one, baby. They're putting it all on black.
Yeah, what that guy said.
What did he say?
I don't know.
Okay. Either way, it is the Doc trying to surgically dissect this site as he makes his way up towards top ramps. Fires off a few parting bullets, connecting nobody until I just heard a dink. Was that? Yes, it was, as well as a follow-up kill, and it's somehow a 5-on-2. Maybe more if Snappy can get someone. He does. He finds one. Maybe a second. He does. But quickly falls. The trade comes in. It's the battle of the pistols, and it's an IP now up 3.
Coming out swinging.
We just need to get a timer on Ninjas in Pyjamas with how long it takes until first kill and then last kill.
45 seconds maybe at most between first and last.
At most, yeah.
Yeah, most 45. So I don't know. Let's pay attention to the round timer here because this is a full buy here from the Sharks. So we finally have an AWP here on to next.
None for Wrinkle. See if that'll come to matter, actually. He's heading over to the site into the specific set of utility. Looks like they'd like to maybe take that shelf control later on in the round, deny it from NIP with the mollies to show. No jump up towards the top side of that shelf, though, this time. You've seen them do it before, but the boost, we've yet to see it actually work. And now's the time for it to. The read up close, trying to spam in. Can't do it. Just how long do you stick around now with no one by your side?
Well, Nick's on the stop. They really have to activate, but it doesn't matter because the kill is going to go the way of Snappy catches him off guard there. Back to a 4-on. May not even be retrievable. He don't really stick around, but it is going to be a quick kill from down in mid. Already in, finding himself a double.
Maybe showing too much skin there, Snappy. I didn't think that would go over. I'll take it.
Yeah, there you go. But, you know, 3-on-4 for Ninjas. They haven't really seen this one as of recent. So this is a little bit of a new territory for them in this round. So rifles available. That AWP of Nyx, as we kind of mentioned earlier, is out of this round. Could potentially be picked up and retained by the Ninjas if they'd like.
Don't really foresee there being much of an issue given this lurk by Koala. He's just given so much over to them. It would have to be Shush. It always seems to be 10, 16 kills. A tally he'll add at least 1, 2, but not enough. Not the big game in that moment, but still more than enough time to come. And U-Jerks can cut them off if he can play for himself a little deeper, if he can pull off the bomb. Might be something to have a conversation about, but dialogue effectively closed on 2 different points of retake right now. I don't foresee anything reasonable for them, but in through the smoke alone, U-Jerks, that's a little bit of wishful thinking, my friend, and trying to get it done. His teammate can get back ends of CT. Actually leaves him into a much more monumental moment.
Seems like they're just trying to get some exits here, but maybe still have an attempt at it. He still has time to get this one, and he gets kind of caught. Jumping gets caught on the ledge, and it will be Koala finding a kill. And I feel like that's a kind of a confidence-boosting kill for Koala. Has been, again, pretty quiet. 3-9 is those are the eyes of a tired man right now.
Yeah, they've been here for, you know, just a little bit here this weekend. So definitely awake more than sleeping with this one. But Shush sitting on a 17-4 scoreline.
He's awake.
Yeah, he's
Popped a snooze and he's ready to go.
yeah.
Call him Snoosh.
Zinned up. Let's go.
No way.
I love you, Snoosh.
I saw them do that yesterday. I thought it was really funny. Reminds me of a Sweet I used to know.
Somebody that I used to know.
Somebody.
No.
Well, that was good. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, where were you on that?
No.
Listen, if you're here, you have to participate.
Don't
That's
do
kind of
it.
the rule.
Don't you complete that letter. Don't do it. Don't.
I don't know what
They
Tony's
can't.
talking
They
about.
can't see
Why
this.
is it always green? We didn't even guess anything.
I'm gonna, you know, at the end of the day, production is trying to gaslight us into thinking we're all schizophrenic and that none of this actually happened. It's just a fever dream.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we don't actually have any physical proof that it happened. So, chat, this
You'll have to believe us.
this is a cry for help. In all honesty,
So, question to you guys. As far as this tournament has gone,
Yeah.
have you caught any players that you were unfamiliar with before, or maybe you become more familiar with over the course of it that you're fond of? Anybody that you were
Little-
like, wow, casting, and you were
little
like,
lad.
this guy shoots.
big Lil Lad fan, honestly.
Who?
Lil Lad,
But
Osu player.
It's a pretty lad.
It's a
or-
fancy lad.
Yeah,
Fancy.
it's a fancy
I'm
lad.
a fancy lad.
Yeah, I'm a fancy lad.
Yeah, huge upset.
Number one Osu player.
No, 303rd.
So no answer? Or?
Oh,
You know,
The real question that was
me,
asked.
to me, it's a player like I'm already aware of.
Sure.
But to see them not only online but also on land still performing, that would be Fox.
Yeah, the offer for Supernova Comets, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, the whole team in this one, they almost pulled over an upset
Yeah.
against Game Hunters. It was close. They had the lead. Unfortunately, it did slip away from them, but they could have been in a different position.
I was watching that game, and I was watching a couple of the different games from them from behind, and it very, very much so is apparent that their game plan, in no bad way, really relies on Fox getting that AWP, because a lot of their game plans actually work based on the fact that they've got so much ability to take over positions and be able to zone out sides of a map or even a bomb site on a take that really, I'd say, not even, forget the conversation of impact. Not a lot of operas, I feel like, in North America can do the way that I've seen her do it, particularly on land. It was pretty impressive.
yeah. I mean, she's a dynamic and energetic opera too, which is something that I think brings a lot to table for her. But again, I think that also makes her have to shoulder a lot of the burden. So I mean, I think Supernova Comets can make a little bit stride into like a deeper concept of rifling over top of relying on that.
I'm having a visual battle with chat right now. They want me stop shaking.
No. They've been saying this all
Oh,
weekend.
you've been doing this the whole time?
Yeah, I'm bouncing my leg, man. Like,
Yo.
God forbid, man.
God,
God forbid a brother shakes his leg.
God forbid.
Can't be perfect.
Uh,
Can you actually like turn your head a little bit to the left? It's
Hey,
distracting me.
did
It's
you,
tilted too
you know,
far.
speaking of awesome clips that
Just
didn't
joking.
happen on Fragadelphia cast,
Yeah.
did you see the repost of Fox's 3K?
That was originally missed, so we had to go back and
You had to
get
go
it
back
from
into
the demo.
VOD
Reclip it?
and then reclip it
Yeah.
and then post it because the observer missed it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
I did. It's pretty good.
What are we on to?
Oh, wow. What was that?
That was very graceful, Buckethead.
Saw it. Our caster's tumbling right now. What are we looking up right now?
Videos of me crying.
Emotional and sad TikToks that made me cry to sleep. Part
No,
3.
How long is it?
It's like
32
yeah,
minutes
32
of just.
minutes.
It is.
That's crazy.
Okay, chat.
No, but it's something. It's also cool. The owners of the comments were here as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, the president, vice president were here with the comments, with the team here as well. I think it was Brett and Kelly, I believe, are their names. But it's cool to see them kind of
You know what,
overperforming.
Tony?
But
I think you're cooking, bro.
No, chat's cooking. They told me to cross my legs. It was
oh
distracting.
boy! But
Yo, why-
I think that was the sauce because the game started again.
This is probably the most comfortable to see.
It is really nice, actually.
That's how I play CS. I sit cross-legged
You
in my
cooked
chair
with
playing
that one.
CS.
Your mom's cheese, but cooking right now inside of a molly at the bottom side of the ramp is one. Above the box, not a safe place. And Gafolo only then getting to the plan that he had called. Only then arriving onto the scene with bodies lay across. The field medic too late. And now having to patch up what will be a 1 versus 3 fight. Molotov incendiary rather more accurately, but a smoke on top of it, trying to keep himself alive, but bullets that spam onto your position make it no easier.
I'm just going to point out point of contact and potentially first kill was, I think, 17 seconds into the round. Round lasted 30 or 43 seconds, I think.
So we're under the time. We're accelerating.
Yeah, things be speeding up. I mean, we transitioned into the round and people were already shooting each other.
We'll see how fast this one goes here. This is the last round of the first half. Potential for Ninjas in Pyjamas to send us all home with a 3-0 against the Sharks. That has happened before. We could see it again.
Bit of a rarity, actually, that they get that initial elevation up towards topside shelf and don't find the first kill. Shush, particularly, you think, would be more than ready for it. He's put through in just to corner that smoke. There's Dawson. Like, no, taking liberties to fire up more. Oh, no, don't walk through that smoke. You might be a dead man, RDN. No, actually, perfectly timed.
You jerks get shot to the back of the head there by a deagle. Snappy. Flashed out on top. They meet face to face. Their sixth sense, their spidey senses are tingling. There is danger on the other side, and somehow they miss each other with every single bullet.
Yep. It's kind of crazy on TSG, new game. Small indie company.
Very small. Don't have much income.
And first to actually make his way beyond the bottom mid smoke and the last to fall. Double the round count. Map 3. Ninjas in Pyjamas has got to be feeling pretty good right now. Some conversations to be had going into their T-side half, though. Obviously, the Sharks maybe a little bit more liberty as far as maybe getting Nyx into the AWP and being able to play a little bit more confidently against these players and hold off what's been a never-ending, unrelenting form of aggression from everybody on the team, really. Nobody playing a passive in the early stage position, including Shush.
Well,
Everything all right, Bonamont?
tech pause. We back. We got one round in. Look at those eyes. What is he looking at?
I don't know. He is intently staring.
Oh my God.
Shout out ObSpot.
Me when I see food. Flutters eyes. Yes. Tony, what do you think he's looking at?
His teammate?
That's Snappy sitting next to him.
Why don't you look at me like that?
Because I don't
Look
respect
at
him.
that. Look, he's smiling. Look at this.
He's got a little
You
wholesome look
literally
on him,
walked
yeah.
over and hugged me and said, I'm going to be casting with you. So I feel like you respect me at least a little.
Don't remember.
Okay. Not bad.
Definitely still in good spirits, NIP, despite the conversation of maybe a little bit of inner lag. Smile gets greater and greater, and conversations still flowing. I mean, you look at the side of the Sharks, they're a little bit more dejected. They look like they're not quite in it as much as they would like to be. Otherwise, Koala leaned back. Everyone else Mal's not really moving and really paying attention to one another. It's good to see from the guys on NIP that they're able to converse in these moments as well.
We're already starting teardown here at the LVLUP Expo, so hopefully they don't leave us here.
Oh, Shush is actually leaving NIP. He's actually stepped down mid-match. It was a good run. We had a lot of fun with it.
Yep.
It was a good LAN outing, but
that's why you always have to
caught
be ready.
bread-handed.
Yeah. Oh.
Bread-handed? No, my hands are
All right,
bread.
I wanted to get my one in. Just my one. That's all. But yeah, I think we're waiting on a little bit of a technical issue to be squared away. Wrinkle seemingly having disconnected from the server. These things happen. These things have happened. These things will probably continue to happen, but we have to accept it as what it is at this point.
It's fate.
I mean, at 8-4, you can't really have anything going wrong for you. You have to have everything perfectly in set as far as your computers would go, as far as TeamSpeak goes. One round and, you know, the game can be entirely different and opens up a doorway for Shark. So,
Do you think they're going to do that, though?
how much to throw it back right now is a crazy comm in chat.
But what's the
100.
what's the number?
So we only
What
do
would be
things
the
for 100 gifted.
I would say
it.
100 gifted.
100 gifted. That's
He's-
it.
He's so much more expensive. I would have said
I'd say
10.
20 maybe? 20,
I
10?
said 10. Think that's $50 just to throw
No,
some
it's
cheeks.
$6 a sub now.
Dude, that's $60. You know what you can think of? How many
You know,
beers you can
technically-
get with
technically,
$120 when you
would-
win from putting in a
Would
black?
Jeff Bezos be considered your pimp if you throw it back and someone gives you 10 subs because he gets paid?
Yo, what production said. Okay.
I don't know if I want to engage in this conversation any further.
Just saying.
My hypothetical pimps. Right, yeah.
Pimp hooray.
10 gifted if Tony throws it back. What is with the chat? I swear, okay. Listen. I've been around this community
Listen,
for
if
long
you
enough
want-
by this point.
If you want to throw it back for 10 gifted, by all your body, your choice.
Do it, Jackro.
Yeah, do it.
10 gifted, I throw it back, I guess, on Fragadelphia stream. Yeah, I guess. Sure.
Yeah.
But the 10 gifted needs to go to me. Go to my channel.
Nope.
I'll type hi. Nope. No.
You're
my body.
You're a volunteer for Fragadelphia.
It would be my I'm not. Whoa. I didn't get accepted as a volunteer, actually.
So
there's
but
no
you're here on the
legally
couch.
binding
That is.
contract.
You think we saw? You think we submit any sort of contracts after the deadline?
Yeah, I don't
Mr.
think
Why
I
not?
signed anything.
That's exactly my point. So it looks like
We're all in the same boat.
checkmate. I'm wearing
you're
the
not-
sweatshirt, dude. This
You're
is
not
the company
contractually
sweatshirt.
obligated to, you know.
I wear that sweatshirt even like when I'm not like casting anything. It's comfy.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, no, for real, it is.
I wash it too much, actually. I'm worried it's going to start fading. it
I
already has.
I got left with the extra large, and I'm like a large, so like it's cool if I wash a few times, and then
What?
seems like we can wash our hands of this conversation because we're back in it, boys. We're locked in.
Hell yeah. Dropping a little bit of utility out in the middle. Flashbang just follows suit. RDN not affected. He'll instead be allowed to play the position that was initially intended for him. By God's graces, no kills have transpired just yet, but perhaps Curse to Damnation will be NIP if they walk into this. This is very, very tightly held in Cave, and only at a distance is Gafolo. He'll only need information to give over to the rest. The kill would be nice. They are going to be giving him the run. No smoke, though. That's going to be problematic. He'll have vision. Oh, it won't have any teammates from Cave in a moment if they can't perform with the dualies. 4 pistols, but only 1 kill. The math is not adding up. As they will. Through CT spawn. Shots from only Doc. His adjustments there. His teammates have fallen beside him. Ammo not plentiful, but rounds for NIP certainly are.
Just got a big smile right there too from Shush. He's having fun. I mean, if you're in a pug and you're 19-5, I'm sure any normal person would be smiling as well. I mean, I don't
Are you calling
think
Wrinkle unnormal? He wasn't smiling.
emotionless.
I mean, I think at 19-5, the entire lobby would be like, "Oh, dude, he's cheating. Oh my God, he's wall hacking."
Well, yeah, probably. Or Smurf. Either or. I don't think he's smurfing in this one because he's exactly where he should be at the top of the scoreboard and leading the charge towards him, just like leading the charge as well. Is Wrinkle finding a triple and was another 25-second 30-ish round there?
Dude, W
Just
nip.
speed running this one for us?
Yeah, I think they've heard us. You know, maybe they took their headsets off during a little bit one
our
of those
cries
pauses.
of anguish.
Hey, listen, they've been here, we've been here. I think we're all ready to go ahead and send all these lovely volunteers home or to wherever they reside. or to the airport if they need to fly back, whatever we got going on.
3 rounds will do it. Another go. Sharks having budgeted the best that they could. Seeing as that last round was just them giving an all-out effort with bodies in mid. This one a little bit more widespread as a default would go. But Doc, one of the players that you definitely need, going to be able to have the impact you would have wanted, and with vision on both sides, it's almost as if NIP want them to be seen. They want them to be known, and a Molotov inside, blind, Gafolo, nothing to show, and this is exactly what NIP came to do, to dominate you. They want to have a line of sight. They want you to walk into them.
I feel like what we just seen from Nip is them just running through mollies, and that is just exactly how I feel anytime I play a pug and I drop a CT molly. And it's like, wow, they ran through both of my mollies. And that's exactly why, because it doesn't do much damage. It doesn't hold off Nip long enough. Sharks just absolutely get destroyed. And Nip got themselves 11 rounds now, 2 Sharks. Like almost a minnow-sized amount. 4.
You know, that I was timing it in this one. So the bomb went down 30 seconds into the round on a full buy.
Good.
We're having fun back here. This is great.
Yeah. It is wonderful, but not having much fun right now. We're Sharks, and you got to feel for them. I mean, they've run this deep into the finals, and we've seen them at Kansas City. NRG, they were in that final as well. They showed at least some signs of life, but against NIP, the ones who had taken down their previous predecessors in what would have been a grudge match, they don't get to see them. Instead, it's the Titans that took down their adversaries and shut out of this B-bomb site a little glimpse of something that could be hope, but very snappy, no pun intended. It's this run towards A and a smoke that could pop through.
Oh, Koala with the spam able to find Aristos through the cave smoke, the donut smoke rather, but don't count Ninjas out of this one just yet. Rifles available there still, you know, FAMAS MP9 on the Sharks defensive side. But we do have a lot of presence starting to be gained here by the Ninjas in Pyjamas. They're trying to push a little bit more information out of these Sharks, trying to at least even this one back, bring it back to a 4-4.
Snappy. Sets up his team with some utility out onto site. Boy, playing this close angle isn't followed. MP9 at this range is deadly, but not deadly enough. They swing on towards Ramp, gets the kill, another trade potentially, but Doc instantly falls, and it is Ninjas in Pyjamas as they look to put Sharks to bed with only 1 alive, and they are looked to be locked in for match grand final point.
Yeah, RDN, just a FAMAS here. He's going to have to save this one into what could be the potential and final round of this evening, of this tournament here at the LVLUP Expo. But he is able to find Shush on the exit, but he's going to have to play for his life here. He needs to keep this FAMAS. He's going to run away here as fast as he can. He knows that they're going to push and try to get information. They can get the full rebuy on the Ninjas in Pyjamas side.
It's going to be a big task for a lowly FAMAS, buffed perhaps, but the Sharks not looking to be where they'd like, financially equipped otherwise. He can drop that over if he'd like. Nyx can get something worth utilize. An A1S for RDN himself being the ever generous, trying to get his teammates into space, but if there are any Sharks believers, now would be the time to lend them your voice. Blood in the water, but not for them, for NIP. This is all there is.
1 more round is all Nips need. A good boost in towards mid. Doc already taking a good chunk of utility. They try and force this issue outside towards Gates, running it down towards bottom ramp. But we do see Nip regressing their way back around to bottom mid in the late, kind of almost a pincer, catching Sharks off, potentially now locking them in quite the awkward area.
It's been awkward before. And it's they who are a little less comfortable when that's the case. Even with man advantages, even with positioning, even with information, it's never been the closed book that you would have expected it to be, given how the map had started. It was a couple of rounds, I think at one point 3-0, 3-1, we were giving them the dialogue, the opening. NIP, ever since, they don't look to be having that same conversation.
Sharks writing that early successful paragraph, but it seems like the book is soon to be closed, quite like you said, as Nip merge on these last kind of tees towards the bottom mid, and there it is. The first kills come through. Doc falls, but the trades are coming in. RDH finds a couple kills here. There's still some life left, but he falls. It's down to just Gafalo last alive here. 1 on 2. The FAMAS spamming. Can't quite find it. Smoke gonna pop. He's gonna walk through. And there it is. Nip take it. 13-4 in the grand finals. 3-0 versus 9F Sharks.
The Ninjas in Pyjamas, they snuck into Las Vegas. Appropriate attire. Prepared to sleep sound. With a North American trophy secured, the coveted VRS points to boot. It's NIP that are your Fragadelphia Las Vegas champions. A trophy to lift. It might not be the size of a house, but it's worth holding. These guys, they worked their butts off. They showed that North America was not so tall of a task as maybe previously, as Wrinkle gets to lift it. Welcome to America, my friend. You've earned it. The lot of you. As I'm the #1 Shush fan, I would like to say that was a phenomenal Ancient as well. I self-proclaim myself that. Twitter account coming soon as everyone gets their chance at it. The captain following the coach, giving it a shake. And this has been a wonderful game, and everyone gets their choice to show it.
And with that, we're going to send it on over to none other than Bonamont to have a few words with the winners.